Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you have a family member grappling with narcissistic personality disorder, you're familiar with the erratic, toxic, and abusive behaviors associated with this condition. As the person ages, you might wonder whether their behavior will improve or worsen over time. Additionally, families dealing with narcissists express considerable concern about the potential ramifications of Alzheimer's disease, as the interplay between Alzheimer's and narcissism creates a narrative that can be even more perplexing. A diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease can be devastating for anyone, but it proves to be particularly horrifying for a narcissist. Alzheimer's, a neurodegenerative disorder, known for its gradual erosion of cognitive abilities, especially poses a unique challenge for those whose very essence revolves around self-centeredness, grandiosity, and a quest for admiration. In people with narcissism, Alzheimer's disease can pose some very unique challenges. As the cognitive decline progresses, dementia has the capacity to profoundly alter an individual's personality. So, what happens when the fortress of self-importance, carefully constructed by a narcissist, begins to crumble under the weight of cognitive decline? Let's delve into the intriguing realm where two distinct psychological phenomena intersect, unraveling the enigma of what transpires when a narcissist confronts Alzheimer's disease, offering a glimpse into the paradoxical intersection of ego and vulnerability. So let's get started. Research suggests that narcissists are at a higher risk of developing the Alzheimer's disease. While the precise correlation between narcissism and Alzheimer's remains unclear, it is hypothesized that it may be caused by the long-term effects of the narcissistic personality disorder on the brain. This connection could be due to the fact that narcissists are always on high alert, stressing their systems over time, resulting in a continuous chemical state of anxiety. This perpetual state of fight or flight that is experienced daily by narcissists can be identified as a direct cause of brain damage. Furthermore, the anxiety stemming from their questionable behaviors adds to an escalating level of paranoia that intensifies over time, potentially resulting in some serious mental problems. Furthermore, when Alzheimer's takes its toll on the brain, the once impenetrable fortress of narcissism begins to crumble. Memory lapses, cognitive decline, and the gradual loss of executive functions challenge the narcissist's ability to uphold their carefully crafted facade. The very core of narcissistic identity, rooted in a relentless pursuit of self-worth, is now subject to the unpredictable and unforgiving effects of Alzheimer's. One hallmark of narcissism is the need for control, which is often manifested through manipulation and dominance. Alzheimer's, with its relentless progression, strips away this control, and you may briefly get to see the person underneath. The once masterful manipulator finds themselves at the mercy of a deteriorating mind, unable to orchestrate the intricacies of their carefully curated world. Alzheimer's disease doesn't discriminate. It touches the lives of individuals regardless of their personality traits. For a narcissist, however, the vulnerability that emerges can be particularly poignant. Stripped of the armor of arrogance and self-assuredness, the individual is faced with a reality that demands humility and dependence on others. Narcissists are notorious for their strained relationships, often fueled by their inability to empathize and connect with others on a genuine level. Alzheimer's exacerbates this struggle, as the narcissist's capacity for emotional connection diminishes. Alzheimer's disease has an uncanny ability to strip away the layers of emotional suppression that narcissists typically employ. As the disease progresses, a spectrum of emotions emerge. Fear, sadness, and even a fleeting sense of humility. The narcissist, who once navigated the world with an air of invincibility, now confronts the humbling reality of their own vulnerability. Loved ones may witness a paradoxical shift, a once seemingly invulnerable narcissist becoming fragile and dependent. Some family members may feel a sense of healing when they finally see the person behind the narcissism. This unmasking is a poignant reminder that, beneath the bravado, lies a human being, grappling with the profound impact of a relentless disease. The Alzheimer's disease progresses over time. In the early stages of Alzheimer's, the signs and symptoms may be very subtle. At first, a narcissist's reaction to their cognitive decline is often more noticeable than the cognitive decline itself. They can become especially agitated, impatient, and aggressive. Additionally, a narcissist's response to each stage differs significantly from that of other patients, without this disorder. Becoming elderly is a normal part of the life developmental stage for most people, but not for narcissists. They perceive aging as an ultimate evil. Narcissists age differently than others in terms of their flexibility, empathic ability, and agreeableness. The aging process is challenging for their ego as it amplifies vulnerability and dependency. This is attributed to the fact that narcissism functions like a web inside their brain, influencing multiple areas simultaneously. However, what the narcissist is incapable of evading is the impact of dementia. As a progressive and indiscriminate disorder which sometimes transforms into Alzheimer's or other related conditions, dementia disrupts every area of the brain in random order. What was once familiar and routine now becomes unfamiliar and challenging. Memory becomes fragmented and unreliable, turning familiar individuals into strangers or perceived adversaries that are out to get them. In the preclinical stage, when no noticeable symptoms are present, a narcissist is unlikely to exhibit specific reactions. As the disease advances to mild Alzheimer's, with noticeable memory decline, narcissists may intensify efforts to mask cognitive problems and potentially withdraw from activities that expose memory lapses. The moderate and moderately severe stages bring increased challenges in maintaining a narcissistic facade, leading to a potential withdrawal from social interactions due to communication difficulties, and growing struggles with loss of control and dependence. As symptoms start to interfere more with their daily functioning, an aging narcissist may try to withdraw from family or friends. Their desire to conceal their struggles leads them to isolate themselves, aiming to avoid embarrassment. However, this approach is typically ineffective in the long run as Alzheimer's disease will persist, eventually requiring consistent support from others. At this point, the narcissist may try to deflect by blaming others. Narcissistic abuse can reach a peak as the narcissist starts to require round-the-clock full-time care. They hate for others to see them in this vulnerable position, so they lash out intensely. Additionally, in this stage, the narcissist may obsessively also fixate on recounting stories of their past accomplishments. In severe Alzheimer's, marked by profound cognitive decline, the narcissistic facade breaks down completely, leaving the individual vulnerable and dependent. In the end stage, with extreme cognitive and physical decline, minimal recognition of self or others may occur, and various emotional states, including apathy or distress, is heightened. For the narcissist, this condition is completely unacceptable. The majority of narcissists have always heavily depended on their cognitive faculties to consistently showcase their superiority in performance, influence, power, beauty, or wealth over others. Any indication of deterioration or diminishment is unthinkable for the narcissist, something that cannot and will not be tolerated. This is when the narcissist is most at risk for suicidal behavior. Narcissists face an increased likelihood of contemplating suicide as their Alzheimer's disease advances to a stage where self-care becomes impossible. If your family member has reached this critical point, it is crucial to closely observe for indicators of suicidal tendencies. Promptly seek professional assistance if you have concerns about the well-being of your relative. Delusions can become very severe in the later stages of Alzheimer's disease. The narcissist may struggle to find the distinction between fiction and reality. They may believe that you or others are trying to hurt them, so the angry outbursts can become even more intense. Most people with Alzheimer's disease will require full-time care in a skilled nursing facility. Throughout the stages of Alzheimer's, the responses of narcissists may vary, underscoring the need for empathy and understanding from caregivers and family members, who are managing the evolving needs of individuals with narcissistic traits as they navigate Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's not only affects the individual, but also reverberates through their relationships. Caregivers and loved ones witness the transformation of the once formidable narcissist into someone who is dependent and, at times, childlike. The dynamics shift, and the roles reverse, prompting a re-evaluation of the essence of these relationships. The caregiver becomes a lifeline, navigating the unpredictable terrain with compassion, even as the narcissist struggles to recognize the diminishing boundaries of their own identity. Balancing empathy with the challenges of caring for an individual with narcissistic tendencies requires a nuanced approach. Understanding the person behind the narcissistic mask becomes essential, as caregivers strive to provide support and dignity in the midst of an identity crisis. The later stages of Alzheimer's disease are incredibly painful for the narcissist and their family. Despite any tumultuous history with your narcissistic family member, witnessing their deterioration can evoke complex emotions. However, this stage of the disease can also give you a glimpse into who your relative would have been without their narcissism. Some family members feel a sense of healing when they finally see the person behind the narcissism. This experience can foster compassion for your relative, potentially easing the caregiving process. However, for some, this experience can be emotionally overwhelming. At this juncture, taking care of your mental health becomes crucial as you navigate the evolving stages of Alzheimer's disease. Anybody who cares for a relative with Alzheimer's needs to take care of their own health. Caregiving is mentally and emotionally taxing, and you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of others. If your family member is a narcissist, it's crucial to treat yourself with extra compassion. Narcissism can wreak havoc on families. After so many years of experiencing the toxic behavior, you probably have emotional wounds to work through. Witnessing the decline of your family member as they age can add an additional layer of complexity. Observing someone deteriorate due to Alzheimer's disease is a challenging experience, evoking a range of emotions that are as complex as they are fleeting. It's easy to go from love and compassion to anger and resentment. The complexity of these emotions is heightened when the individual also grapples with pathological narcissism. It's a situation one wouldn't wish upon even their worst enemy, and ironically, it's often the person you consider your worst enemy that you find yourself caring for. If the weight of this experience becomes overwhelming, seek support from your loved ones. Additionally, consulting with a therapist to navigate and process your emotions can be profoundly beneficial. That being so, in the intersection of narcissism and Alzheimer's, we witness the unraveling of a complex tapestry. The disease, indifferent to the ego-driven narratives, brings forth a poignant reminder of our shared humanity. As the grandiosity fades and vulnerability surfaces, there's an opportunity for empathy, understanding, and, perhaps, a degree of redemption. The journey through Alzheimer's may strip away the layers of narcissism, leaving behind a raw, unadorned individual, a reminder that, in the face of adversity, our common humanity prevails. So, if you have been caring for a narcissist with Alzheimer's, I hope this helps you. If this content was helpful, please consider sharing and subscribing to my channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Always feel free to share your experiences in the comment section below. I express my gratitude to everyone for tuning in and watching. Let us help spread the awareness and lead healthier and fulfilling lives.